Alright, so in this video, I'm basically gonna tell you something which will sound super obvious to you, but you still need it. And that is, you don't just have, you need at all costs have to have the best classes in your area. No matter what martial arts you teach. If you teach jiu-jitsu, you need to have the best jiu-jitsu classes in your area. That it would feel unreasonable if someone tested every single school in your area and they decided against your school. It would feel completely unreasonable even for them. And even, let's say they decided for another school instead of yours, they still feel bad themselves because they know your classes are better than theirs. And this makes, or like the entire experience at the school even, right? You need to have the best system possible when it comes to having students at your school and student retention. I don't just mean this, like, this is the most important stuff basically that I can ever tell you. Because otherwise you're always just gonna be at a race to the bottom where it's like, okay, you wanna like use every single month you have to worry again about marketing, about getting new students for your school, right? And then students leave, and then you have to worry about how do I get more students, how do I get more students, and you're only worried about marketing really, because instead of like just focusing on the classes and being like, so let's take two examples here. One school, so they every single month they get like 20 new students, but every single month, I don't know, around 10 students also leave their school, right? And their marketing is really good, but their classes are kind of all right. And so every single month, on average, 10 students leave, and on average, they get 20 new students. They'll have like plus 10 students every single month. Obviously, that's already fantastic. But let's take a look at the second school, where they maybe only get like 15 new students per month, but therefore they have only one student leave per month. So they get 14 new students per month just because they have better retention. And this may sound super simple to you, right? And obviously, in some scenarios, you can't really influence this because some people may just be, they move places, right? And so they can't really stay at your school. But if you don't focus on this stuff, right? Like, people are like, I can't even express this to you enough. Like, it's not like just okay, they have like halfway of a bad experience. No, they'll tell other people, and so in the area, like, you only have a certain market, maybe of like 100,000 people, and so it would spread like fire almost inside of your market that people shouldn't go to that school, to your school, so to speak, right? Just because they're mediocre, like they just didn't like your school. Now, also, you will assign even more students if you have the best experience in your school, because they'll just refer people to your school. Like, they'll just all of a sudden get people into your school just because they had such a great experience with you. And so you should actually focus on, all right, I'm gonna slow the marketing down this month, but therefore I'm gonna improve my class even more. Or like, you should be fine with not signing that many students in maybe 1 or 2 months, but therefore have like such acceptable class and build these classes out, right? Don't just try to sign up new students when your classes and like your entire school expectation and stuff like that is completely shitty. Like, rather wait it out and just improve that and then sign new students, right? Obviously, if you're completely in the beginning, like you maybe have like 10 students right now, fine. Like, you need to pay bills, like obviously get students in the door, right? But if you're already at like 100 students or something like that, maybe stay there for like a couple more months and therefore improve your classes really and make sure people don't leave. And even then, you'll still sign up new students because people refer people to your school, so to speak, because your classes are just so phenomenal. But if you think about this logically, what most dojo owners do, they see it like, okay, how do I get new students? Well, I just need more leads. I need a better cost per lead. I need better Facebook ads and stuff like that. Whereas in reality, if we flip this upside down, and we start at the end, obviously people stay at your school, kind of, right? So if you just focus on people actually staying at your school, it doesn't matter if you only sign up like a couple new students per month, because people don't leave your school. Sure, sometimes again it's gonna happen if they move or whatever, but mostly it won't. And even I would even say when you start your school in the beginning, like, sure, you need new students and stuff like that, but there's this story of a guy who opened like a cookie business, and in the first 365 days before he even opened his business, every single day he baked cookies and asked people around how they tasted, and then he just tested around with stuff, right? And after 365 days of baking, he had his 365 samples, so to speak. He opened his cookie business. He already had kind of leads in his area of the people who he asked. And therefore, when he opened his cookie business, it completely crushed because he had the best cookies, obviously, in his area, right? Because he did so much testing. It's the same stuff for his school. I wouldn't be worried about marketing and all of that. Like, sure, you still want to have great marketing and stuff like that. I'm not saying that this is unimportant, right? Especially like it's also maybe because otherwise, like, you can't only, you could theoretically only rely on referrals, but you also still want to do marketing, obviously, right? But you want to put this kind of like at the back end, so to speak. Like, rather focus on having like a phenomenal school than having like phenomenal marketing only, right? And like, don't just, for example, change up your offer every single day, where it's or a week or month, whatever. Like this month you're doing like a 7-day free trial, next month like 14-day free trial, then like a 1 class free trial only, and then paid trial class whatsoever. And instead stick to like a 1 class free trial, for example, and then like just go through with this because it can work. Like marketing is not the problem. Getting people in the door is not the problem. Actually keeping them for a long run, this is the problem. Like improve your school in like every single area. Like improve the experience at your school. Maybe greet people even better before they come into your school, right? Maybe like you give the kids, you give them like always like a small present when they start at your school, right? If someone signs up, they get even more free stuff, or so to speak, right? Or they get like a private lesson with you, whatsoever. You can get like really, really creative with this stuff. And you just want to focus on that rather than always focusing on marketing, because that way you're just going to play like a race to the bottom, which is you're just going to lose in the long run anyways. Like if for the long run, sure, you may get some students in the door, but they will all leave. Whereas if you just delay your gratification, you maybe some months don't get that many students, and over the long run you will just win, because you're like, it's always the business that wins that has the best product, because otherwise you'll just fail. It's like that probably with every business, but we're talking about martial arts schools here. So what you should take away from this video is that you really need to focus on having the best class in your area. And I don't just like, I truly mean this from the bottom of my heart. I wish I could just come to your school right now and like just help you help you with this, so to speak. But if you want more students for your school as well, you can also click the first link in the description. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.